I don't work in the criminal justice system, but I have to say this story sounds weird, but I'm sure a lot of conservatives are going to be really, really happy, or anybody who doesn't like Antifa, me included. Judge upholds charges for straight pride parade protesters in court. But not just that. It's not just that a judge is saying these people are going to face justice. It's that the prosecutor tried to dismiss the charges. That's right. The police arrested these people for injuring officers and disorderly conduct. And the prosecutor, the state, said the police affidavit statement doesn't provide probable cause for these arrests. We want to dismiss these charges. And the judge said no. They will have a pretrial hearing, and they will be held on between $250 and $750 bond. The judge was like, no dice. They're getting locked up, period. So it's weird. I don't know, because the defendant and the prosecution agreed that these people arrested disorderly would be released. But I have to wonder if the court system, if the legal system is finally getting fed up with Antifa. Look what happens in D.C. Hundreds of people mass arrested. Mind you, I was arrested in that crowd, but I was never processed. And a lot of people on the left try to say, Tim was never arrested. He's making it up. No, I was. I was told 3 times I was under arrest. And then the police removed me after they removed other members of the press with press passes. So yes, look up the definition. Anyway, the point is, they tried charging Antifa with a conspiracy. They failed. They couldn't do it. There's a lot of reasons to be concerned about the government trying to arrest anyone, and charge them with conspiracy simply for wearing a black hoodie. But you also have to realize these people are on the record saying they do this to avoid getting caught. Now you have a big problem. Can you wear a black hoodie and then accidentally get sucked up in Antifa and get charged? I guess so. But here's what I really think. Outside of the DC, Trump inauguration stuff, I wonder if this is the courts finally saying we cannot have a society with people running around in all black, getting into fights and beating people who have a permit and didn't do anything wrong. You dislike the straight pride parade? So what? I don't care. Grow up. It doesn't give you a right to go around bashing people. But the police are ecstatic. Not only are they happy here, well, I shouldn't say ecstatic, but the police are very, very happy here, right? So they're ecstatic about this. But the police have issued a statement in response to Ayanna Pressley. Ayanna Pressley, one of the squad members, was helping fundraise for these people, and the Boston police released a statement saying, please don't do this. These people injured cops. I've got a lot to go through today, and I gotta be honest, I wanted to save this for the main channel, but guess what? We're gonna be showing some violence, some good old street violence, and therefore it's gonna get demonetized. So I'll say this, before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate. If you'd like to support my work, there's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. The best thing you can do, share this video to help overcome the deranking. YouTube deranks independent political commentary, favoring CNN and Fox News, etc. Here's the bigger issue, though. I'm going to show you a photo right now. Let me see. I believe, here we go. This is a photo from Berkeley of a journalist who was being beaten by Antifa. You can see that he's got blood on his face. You can see that they're whacking, this woman is whacking him with some kind of monopod. It looks like a monopod for a camera. They said he lost his phone, his camera lens, and his notebook. They stole it from him. They beat him. Antifa does this. And it's kind of funny now that you have this story from Rolling Stone. How Andy Ngo managed to get the mainstream media to follow his cause, demonizing Antifa. Is that a joke? They beat the crap out of the guy. It's like getting, Antifa beating you unprovoked to own the libs? No, perhaps if they didn't just beat the guy and many other people, there wouldn't be concern about these lunatics running around in all black beating random people. But I'll tell you one thing, this dude should have defended himself. I don't know what he did, but like getting hit like that, I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna assume he did or didn't defend himself, but look at this. Whacking him with a club, man. So now you've got AOC and Ayanna Pressley trying to raise money for this. Like, not this literally, like this figuratively. This is what these people do. And that's who these Democrats are defending. It's really funny. People have tried saying that Antifa is the militant wing of the Democratic Party. I always found it to be ridiculous. It's silly. Come on, man. These people hate Democrats. Antifa hate liberals as much as they hate conservatives. It's true. They write horrifying things about liberals. They don't consider themselves liberal. They are radical, authoritarians, and communists, etc. But people try to say that they're the militant wing of the Democratic Party, and like I said, that's just absurd. Until now. because AOC and Ayanna Pressley are fundraising for them. So they're actively supporting them. Well, let's read what happened with this judge. CBS Boston reports. Half of the 36 people arrested during Saturday's Straight Pride Parade in Boston were arraigned at Boston Municipal Court Tuesday. The charges range from disorderly conduct to assault and battery on a police officer. Prosecutors from Suffolk County District Attorney Rachel Rowland's office attempted to get charges dismissed for any of the protesters charged with disorderly conduct who had no prior record. But each time, Justice Richard Sinnoh denied the request and scheduled a pretrial hearing for each defendant. Justice Sinnoh went against both the prosecution and defense's request, also ordering half a dozen people to be taken into custody and held on cash bail ranging from $250 to $750. One man was held without bail. We couldn't be happier at the moment with a judge on that with a judge that's on the bench, said Larry Calderon, the vice president of the Boston Patrolmen's Association. We are here to make sure the DA prosecutes these offenders to the fullest extent of the law. There may have been a time where Antifa came in and the judge said, what did this person do? And they said it was disorderly conduct at a protest. And he'd be like, yeah, okay. They were arrested. We get it. They've spent, a day in jail, send them home. But the problems are getting worse. The problems are getting worse. And now it seems like a judge might be like, I don't care. We're going to throw the book at them. Does that mean they're going to be treated unfairly? No. It's going to mean that they're going to be treated within the confines of what the law actually allows. In the past, I'd imagine a lot of these Antifa, they saw leniency from the court because the court's just like, yeah, disorderly conduct, who cares? It seems like that's not what's happening today. I can't tell you why. They say Boston police say 4 officers are still out of work after being injured on Saturday. Many officers were assaulted throughout the day with bottles of urine being thrown at them, bottles of chemicals. The 36 people were arrested when a protest of the parade got chaotic. Some protesters said police used excessive force with them, while the head of the police union says the protesters came to create havoc. They did, they do, and here's your proof. They do this all the time. So look, there are mask laws, but I don't know. People have a right to protest, but they don't have a right to go around whacking people with clubs, throwing bottles of urine at people. So, trying to figure out where the line is difficult. But I will say this, because I've mentioned this before. If there will ever be fascism in this country, it's going to be brought by Antifa. You heard me. When Antifa goes around beating people, the 80% of regular America who doesn't pay attention to politics, it's something like that. It's like some 78% or something. They're going to be sitting there saying, why are there roving bands of masked individuals with weapons and bottles of urine? Please protect us. And they're going to vote for laws to embolden the government. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of a judge saying, you know what, you're getting the book thrown at you. But I also recognize these people won't stop unless something happens, and that is the dangerous conundrum. I will not personally tolerate police patrolling the streets, standing on street corners with floodlights because of this nonsense. And that's what happened at my the event I was a sponsor of just this past weekend. A bunch of us went to a bar to have some beer. I don't drink, but the police had to secure the area because there were protesters who showed up threatening the event. That is not a world I want to live in. If there will ever be a fascist state, it's because these people are beating regular people. It's because Antifa beats regular people and then they beg for security because they don't care. They don't want to protest. They say 36 people were arrested when the protest of the parade got chaotic. Some protesters, they say they were like, I read that already. However, some protesters being arraigned spoke to WBZ and said they felt targeted by police. Multiple times I asked why I was arrested. He said, for calling me a pig, said Joshua Abrams before his arraignment. Well, that's my First Amendment right to do so. And I think you're a liar. I think you're a liar. This is the problem. And I'll show you this photo again. It was because he said I called him a pig. Don't believe you. Sorry. You're part of a roving band of lunatics that are going around beating people who dress like clowns. All right? When a straight pride parade happens, and there's a dude dressed as a clown and a guy dressed as a frog, and they're marching legally with no weapons, and you show up and start violence, I'm going to go ahead and assume you're a liar. You see the problem here? You do have a right to call a cop a pig. I just don't believe you because you showed up to beat other citizens. You see the thing? The thing is, if you showed up to protest the government and the government hit you, I'd be like, well, we got a problem here, right? You didn't, though. You showed up to protest other Americans who are expressing their First Amendment rights. Why would we tolerate that? You have a right in this country to free speech. You don't have a right to show up and threaten people expressing their free speech. You are violating their rights. Not under the First Amendment, right? The First Amendment stops the government. But everyone in this country has a right to freely, go about their business. Now, it's really funny is they say it's not a violation of their free speech because I'm not the government. No, it is a violation of their free speech, regardless. You know why? First of all, I'm not talking about the First Amendment, but let's even talk about the rights guaranteed under the First Amendment. What you did is illegal. There you go. Showing up and threatening people is illegal. It is a crime. Now, did these individuals threaten them, on their own? No, but let me tell you this. If you're in a group of people, about 10, you all dress the same and you're wearing masks, you have a shared goal, and then one person yells a death threat or a threat of violence, congratulations, you're an accomplice. See how that works? So no, I don't believe you that the cop arrested you for calling you a pig, and I will stress the point. I've witnessed police do things like this. I actually got a guy acquitted. I shouldn't say, I believe acquitted might be the right word. He was charged with obstructing a roadway or disorderly conduct in New York. The police claimed he was blocking the road when he wasn't. Well, I filmed it, and the police lied when they arrested him. Now, this guy was a photographer. You see the difference? So when they arrested him and I had footage, I was like, yep, the cops lied. And the cops do lie. They do. Absolutely. Here's the thing, though. You say, so it's so convenient that you showed up to violently protest against Americans exercising their rights. And when a cop arrested you, he whispers in your ear, you called me a pig. Oh, please, dude. I just do not believe you. Sorry. I'll make the point one more time. You want to protest the government? Hey, I'll be right there with you. You want to protest a police force that's violent and brutal? You got me. I will be there. I will be there defending your rights. And I would not trust a government if the government starts claiming certain things were done because they're a subject of the protest. I get it. It's difficult. But when you show up to protest Americans who are unarmed and exercising their rights, you are the baddies. You get it? You see how that works? So apparently, District Attorney Rachel Rollins issued the following statement. By compelling arraignment in every case, the judge punished the exercise of the individual's First Amendment right to protest. I disagree. At my request, prosecutors used the discretion constitutionally allocated to the executive branch to triage cases and use our resources most effectively to protect public safety. Make no mistake, some people were appropriately arraigned and will be held accountable for actions that put the safety of the public and law enforcement at risk. For those people now tangled in the criminal justice system for exercising their right to free speech, many of whom had no prior criminal record, I will use the legal process to remedy the judge's overstepping of his role. I don't believe the judge overstepped, but far be it from me to tell you how the courts should act. I actually have to defer to the prosecutors themselves. Prosecutors, in my experience, tend to be very overzealous and want to get that win. I believe that upon looking at the evidence, the prosecutor probably realized these people probably shouldn't have been arrested. And it may have been something like yelling pig at a cop. In my experience, I don't see prosecutors as letting people go. They want that conviction. They want to win. I think the judge is trying to make an example. We're going to jam you up. You want to get into these fights? You want to protest American citizens walking down a street? They're going to jam you up. This is one of the big problems we have in our justice systems, to be honest, though. That getting arrested is the punishment, right? So you could be annoying a cop. He'll arrest you because he knows you won't get convicted. You'll be let go in a day, but they get you off the street right then. That is not how our justice system is supposed to function, but it's what they do. So I gotta stress, there are many circumstances I've witnessed where I wouldn't trust the police. But when it all comes down to it, when you see photos like this, when you see images like this of Andy No, let's let it load up real quick. When you see this image, you think I'm going to believe you, dude? You think I'm going to believe you after what you are joining in on? Absolutely not. Sorry, if you show up to join Antifa and then claim, oh no, heavens me, the police were unfair. Nice try, buddy. You know what you joined. So I'm not surprised the judge is going to throw the book at you because of photos like this and photos like this. Okay? So let me tell you what. If you want to go out and protest peacefully, try not dressing up like that, okay? Now, admittedly, if you want to protest, here's the big challenge. If you want to go protest and then you have Antifa show up, well, we have a problem now, right? There's probably a lot of people who are arrested who weren't wearing all black or anything like that. Look, they even ripped this guy's shirt. Isn't that crazy? Just chasing him and beating him. That's nuts. This guy's a journalist. This is the U.S. Press Freedom Tracker. Antifa is the biggest threat to our freedoms as of right now. Well, maybe I should say biggest, but I will make this point. If I want to protest and then Antifa shows up, we are now in danger of them starting violence and discrediting everything we stand for. So you have to disavow. That's the best thing they can do. Well, they won't. I'll tell you what, you want to go out and protest peacefully, you have a right to do so. You shouldn't be punished because these lunatics are showing up to your protest. But you need to disavow, and they won't do it. The DSA has told me, okay, I was in Boston and they said, well, we respect a diversity of tactics. I said, these people are waving communist flags and they're swinging crowbars. What do you mean you're going to respect that? Okay, well then you are an accomplice as far as I'm concerned because you provide the crowd cover for these lunatics. Anyway, you get the point. I'll leave it there. We'll see what happens to these people. Stick around. Next segment will be coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel, and I will see you all next time.